Belle da Costa Greene was really one of the most pioneering special collections librarians in the first half of the 20th century.
She was a mystery, a friend, a woman of incredible just power and leadership. She was Pierpont Morgan's librarian when he hired her in 1905, and she would become the Morgan's first director in 1924. So she was a woman in a man's world, but not just any woman. She was a Black woman passing as white in Jim Crow America.
And she rose to the top of that world through her confidence, bravado, and expertise. But Belle Greene really helped transform this collection into a public resource, open for education, for teaching, for exhibitions. She really made the Morgan Library what it is today.
Belle da Costa Greene, A Librarian's Legacy, is the most important exhibition of our centennial year. It shows the life and times of the founding director, Belle da Costa Greene, who establishes the Morgan at the forefront of scholarship, connoisseurship, and access.
This exhibition really tells the story of Belle Greene from her start in Washington, D.C., her family history there, all the way through her career at the Morgan Library, which ended in 1948, and then covers everything in between.
The show moves through the history of her education, her library career, her medieval acquisitions, which were kind of her favorite loves, her personal collection, and eventually her role as director, and then her legacy within Black librarianship. There are a few parts mixed within the exhibition that are much more thematic. The topic of racial passing, or race in America in general, is throughout the exhibition, and it had to be because it is a part of her life, as it was a part of American culture. Passing was something you didn't talk about. Belle Greene destroyed her diaries, and so it's important to acknowledge those silences, and we represent these silences through those voices of her contemporaries to hopefully kind of understand why she might have left the silences behind that she did. She was known worldwide for being a shrewd negotiator, going after the best items that were on the market and getting the best price she could for these materials. And she really was known for building this amazing collection and stewarding it.
This is the only surviving complete copy of Thomas Mallory's Le Morte d'Arthur, the story of King Arthur. And Belle Greene had long sought this book and knew that she wanted it for the collection. It was like her white whale in a way. In the auction, she bid $42,500, though Morgan had told her she could go up to $100,000. She was one of only 2 women at the auction, and the newspapers often talked about her feathered plume in her hat, that the plume itself raised the bids as it waved in the air. Belle Greene, as a woman there, could have felt like an outsider. Instead, she went in and she owned the place. And she was the person who came away with the best acquisition. And it's still one of the great pieces in our collection of early printed books. She was always looking for the rough drafts of these pieces to show the creative process, as she put it, the betterment of the expression. And she had a prescient attitude, I think, towards acquisition. So she collected non-Western material, Persian and Indian miniatures, for instance, at a time when they were not widely collected.
So this is Belle Greene's final acquisition right before she retires. It was purchased in 1948, and it's the Zurganella Gospels, which is an Ethiopian manuscript. Greene purchased it after hunting for it for 10 years. She left a little note that she was so excited that she was able to purchase it. She was never going to let something slip through her fingers if she really, really wanted it. It would eventually find its way into the Morgan collection.
She said something like, "I just have to accomplish what I set out to do, no matter who or what is in my way." She is determined, and that determination is something we see everywhere.
The Morgan Library Museum turns 100 this year. What better way to recognize the history, the centenary of the Morgan, than through a thorough and in-depth review of its founding director?
She was so proud to be a librarian. She would be very proud of the exhibition program that the Morgan still runs today because it's something she believed was at the core of us being an educational institution. You can't tell the Morgan story without her.